Now let's talk about what to do about it. There's two things. You have things that weaken the immune system, and you have things that strengthen the immune system. Now, as far as what weakens the immune system, low nutrient foods, going on a diet that creates nutritional deficiencies. If you take the pandemic, the Spanish flu that occurred in 1918, and you take a look at what happened just before this pandemic, this spread of this virus all over the world that killed 50 to 100 million people. What occurred right before that is World War I. Now, what happened in this war is you had this huge shift of transportation of food. You had rationing. You had the preserving of food. A lot of the soldiers were given things like canned corned beef. Some foods had dog food. There just wasn't a lot of fresh vegetables and food. So when you do that over a period of time, you weaken the immune system, especially if you put someone under a stressful state, like being in a war. That is going to set the person up for a susceptibility to having a virus invading their body. So when you're low in vitamins, trace minerals, amino acids, and fatty acids especially, you are more susceptible to getting sick because of the fact that the nutrient defense mechanism is dependent on these nutrients. Just think about a virus, for example. A virus can't do anything to you. It's not alive unless it invades the cell wall and goes right into your DNA and starts to turn that thing into a copy machine while it hijacks the life force from that cell. Now think about what I just said. It has to invade the cell wall, okay? That cell wall is two layers of fat. It's a bilipid layer of fat, okay? So this is another reason why essential fatty acids are vital to protect your cells. You don't want to go on a low-fat diet when you're run down or sick. So fat and cholesterol, by the way, is very important in a healthy immune system. Cholesterol is an essential building block for certain hormones like cortisol, for example. Cortisol is really important in your immune system. So if cortisol does not have its building blocks, cholesterol, it can't be formed correctly. And then you have stress. This is probably equivalent to nutrient deficiencies. In fact, in practice, I don't remember one case that came in that had some sickness that didn't have some stress event occur right before it. So stress is a very key factor, and I put some links down below for more information on how someone can extract stress. Low sleep also sets you up for being susceptible, then it's connected to stress as well. And glucose. I just released a video on this one point. Certain viruses are activated more with glucose fuel versus other fuels. So you know about healthy keto and intermittent fasting. For those of you that are new and you don't know anything about it, check it out. I put a link down below of the exact diet that you need to be on to have a very strong immune system. But now let's talk about what nutrients are really vital in keeping your immune system bulletproof. At the top of the list, we have vitamin C. And I'm not talking about synthetic vitamin C. I'm talking about a vitamin C from food or a food concentrate. Now in nature, vitamin C always comes in a complex of many parts, not just one thing, ascorbic acid. But the foods that are highest in vitamin C are sauerkraut, bell peppers, berries, green leafy vegetables. Vitamin C has the power to stimulate the production of more white blood cells. Vitamin C is also stored in large quantities in your adrenal gland to actually help make adrenal hormones. Now, next one that's equally as important, vitamin D. I talked about that in the slide right before this. Vitamin D is an immune modulator. It's not really even a vitamin. It's a hormone factor that actually controls your immune system. So it has a function that goes way beyond just making bone. There's vitamin D receptors in all of your white blood cell and in your DNA. And when I mean modulate the immune system, I mean has a controlling factor over your immune system. And many people are deficient in vitamin D and they don't even know it. But it supports the T cells, okay, which are made by the thymus gland, which is like a training camp for white blood cells. It also protects against pathogens. And it actually makes these two different things that have the capacity to kill microbes very potently. So vitamin D does a lot of different things for your immune system. Next one on the list that's very important is vitamin A. Okay. Vitamin A provides the structural integrity of the mucosal cells in the sinus and the respiratory centers. The best source of vitamin A is cod liver oil, egg yolks, butter is a good one because it's a fat-soluble vitamin. And by the way, vitamin D is very hard to get from food, so the sun would be probably the best source, or as a supplement. Zinc is the most important trace mineral for the immune system. It actually can increase T cells, and it does a lot of other things for the immune system, but a lot of people are deficient in zinc. But zinc is very protective against viruses. Garlic is hands down, ranks #1 in potency for killing off viruses, bacteria, yeast, fungus, mold. It is very, very potent. Next one is colloidal silver, which is basically silver particles in water. It's been around for a long time. It starves off the oxygen supply to certain microbes, so it's very potent. Some people use it as a nasal rinse, and it works really good. But this is a very potent antiviral as well. And then olive leaf. Olive leaf has been studied extensively. I put some links down below for more information on that, but this is great as an antiviral and to actually protect the immune system. There's a lot of other things that can protect the immune system, but from my viewpoint, these are the most powerful